So then I asked, did Derek Chauvin, the cop that killed George Floyd or whatever, and George Floyd work at the same nightclub? Floyd as a bouncer with an off-duty Chauvin sitting at the front door in his police cruiser. And dude responds, yes, Derek Chauvin and George Floyd both worked as security guards at the same Minneapolis nightclub, El Nouveau Rodeo. Floyd frequently worked inside as a bouncer, while Chauvin, an off-duty officer, typically worked security at the venue's entrance, which was often involved sitting in or near his police cruiser. Okay, so this is like, it's not right. This is what Baltimore. This is what Black Lives Matter was talking about. See, it's like Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. You got the outdoor security cop and the door bouncer. Working for years together at this, and this is like a venue that needs a cop sitting out front. The kind of venue that George Floyd is working at. So it's like an underworld nightclub, and there's like, you don't need to be a local investigator to assume and not be incorrect that drugs and sex and counterfeit $20 bills flow in and out of that place like water and like watered down whiskey. See, and so and the thing about counterfeits in inner city underworlds is they're like, you'll have certain counterfeits with certain numbers that everybody on the inside knows these are the currency of the local boss. Like, you don't use these anywhere but with each other for drugs, for you don't go into stores and use them unless there are stores, unless they're only made people trade in this currency. And, and then it gets sold and traded, and it's just part of it's part of the inner cities everywhere. And the ones that get good, strong working models between cops and the underworld, like we were talking about in Baltimore. And so then Floyd goes into the store, and that's what he keeps saying later. When they got him in the car and they got him on film, and he's like, "Please don't kill me, don't kill me!" Like, why is he worried they're gonna kill him? And it's like, but he says, "I didn't know. I thought the guy was okay." He says pretty much exactly that, because he's saying, I know that store is cool. I thought that guy, I didn't know, some of the people in the store are cool and some of them ain't. You just went and gave a 20 to the wrong guy. Okay, now, normally, that could be handled, like if it was drugs, if he'd gone in there and said, here, man, here's a hundred, here's a rock of crack, or a joint of pot for the bag of Fritos, and then the dude said, "I'm calling the police." It's like, well, then Chauvin would just show up and go, "Come on, dude, you're under arrest," and take him down the corner and let him go. And they'd come up with some side story, It's like the shit they do every day. Well, the thing about passing a $20 bill and getting the police called on you is that, if Floyd was still alive, about a half hour later, the Secret Service would be showing up, because it's counterfeit money, and even though the Secret Service should be protecting the president from little kids shooting him in the ear, they gotta go down there and deal with the counterfeit. Well, it's probably good for them to get some The FBI is mostly lawyer people with degrees, university degrees. So maybe it's good for them to get their hands a little bit dirty. But so I mean, like, and he's pleading, don't care, don't care. Oh no, like what? Because he knows what. Hey, he knows he's saying. I thought the guy was okay. He's telling, and the cop is like the guy he works with at the club. Like, this is Floyd's handler. This is like the guy that vouches for Floyd to get him to work the club, and then they got their own little under thing going on, and it's all part of the model they set up in inner cities between cops and the underworld to keep because it's less violent. It's like these inner cities are going to be rife with crime no matter what we do. This is the best way to handle it. And then it becomes ever more corrupt, because the cops are and them they're all getting along way too good. And then so that's why Chauvin shows up. He comes rushing in like, because he got the call. It's like, one of your guys fucked up big time. You better get down there and fucking handle that shit, or you're gonna fucking get handled. So he goes down there, and Floyd knows, like, He knows, because Floyd knows, because they know that he's got such a long record, and when the Secret Service talks to him, he's either going to prison for the rest of his life in like maximum security with his record, or he snitches. And it's like, he's going to snitch because that's what everybody does. Because now he'll become a Fed snitch, and it's a better job than being a Minneapolis cop snitch. And so and when he snitches, he's going to fucking hand over the whole city. He's going to hand over everybody he knows anything about in Minneapolis. And that doesn't mean they're going to go in there and bust the whole Minneapolis underworld. No, it just means the feds can go in there and say, we got this dirt on you, we got this on you, and it led to this and that and the other. And say, what are you going to give us? What are you going to do for us? Because they're all just running around shaking each other down to pretend they're doing something real, but it's like the harder they press, the excuse is that the harder they try, the more trouble they create. Because these people are the underworld is not going to become the overworld because we make it too hard on them, and unless you got someone like Donald Trump who says, well, just go in there and beat the fuck out of everybody and keep beating the fuck out of everybody until they're like, man, we're tired of getting the fuck beat out of us, and all the guys who can put up with being the fuck beat out of them all the time are locked up doing life in their own individual cells, and nobody wants that. So I mean, that's and so and so then he dies of fentanyl overdose. That's the story. And it's like, right. And, like, how easy is it to kill somebody with fentanyl? Like, why does Floyd know it's coming? Because he knows these guys, they've got a little pinprick, little vial, saran. They've got something they carry with them like a cyanide pill, but it's like, all they got to do is just, administer it while they're wrestling with Floyd, and he'll OD shortly. Problem solved. Nobody for Secret Service to talk to, and then somebody smooths it over with them later on. Because everything is bought and trade. It's all business. It's like it's all these fucking morons who don't have real jobs, sucking all this value out of the economy, playing these stupid-ass fucktarded little games at everybody else's expense. It's all big deal, like, we're the guys, I gotta go, in the video.